Have you ever believed something for so long that it quietly shaped how you saw yourself? For many people, there's an unspoken belief about the Philippines. Not said loudly, not written, but deeply felt. A polite dismissal, a soft judgment hidden behind smiles. The idea that Filipinos are kind, yes. Hardworking, maybe, but not exceptional. Not a country the powerful admire. Not a nation that shapes the future. You may have felt it. Someone from abroad speaks slowly, not out of respect, but assumption, kindness replacing competence. Or that casual remark, Filipinos make great helpers, great followers. Rarely leaders. Over time, these moments pile up. They stop feeling like insults from outside. They start feeling like truth inside. That's the dangerous part. When everyone agrees on something long enough, even the strongest people begin to question themselves. This belief is unsettling because it didn't just come from ignorance. It echoed through universities, global forums, academic circles. A Western scholar suggested countries like the Philippines lacked the mindset for global leadership. The room nodded. No one challenged it. It felt settled, like the world had already decided. But history has a way of interrupting certainty. Because while these assumptions were being repeated, something else was happening quietly, far away from headlines. Something the world wasn't paying attention to, and it would take the richest, most powerful people on earth to accidentally reveal the truth. What happens when the people who judge the world become the ones who are humbled? While the world quietly underestimated the Philippines, something unexpected was unfolding. Some of the richest and most influential people on earth were arriving with confidence, even arrogance, and leaving with something they didn't expect. Not contracts, not applause, but humility. Take Jack Ma, a billionaire who built one of the largest business empires in modern history. When he spoke about Filipinos, he didn't praise obedience, he didn't mention cheap labor. Instead, he spoke about creativity, emotional intelligence. The ability to connect deeply in a digital world that has forgotten how to be human. For a man obsessed with the future, the Philippines reminded him of something ancient: community. And then there was Pope Francis, a man who has stood before kings, presidents, and empires, breaking down emotionally in front of ordinary Filipinos. Not because of ceremony, but because of faith lived through suffering. He didn't speak to them as a poor nation needing guidance. He spoke to them as a people carrying a light the world desperately needs. These moments are uncomfortable because they reverse the roles we've been taught to accept. The powerful are supposed to teach. The wealthy are supposed to judge, yet here they were learning. And this story centers on one such man. Not famous, not spiritual, not emotional. A self-made European investor wealthy enough to buy silence. Respected enough to never be questioned. He didn't come to the Philippines searching for inspiration. He came because his advisors told him to, and that decision would quietly dismantle everything he believed about success. From the outside, his life looked finished. Inside, it was quietly collapsing. By his 60s, he had everything the world promises. Wealth insulated him from fear, influence opened doors that never closed again. But beneath the polished surface, something fragile was forming. A realization he tried to ignore. The systems he trusted weren't working when it mattered most. It began with illness. Not his own at first, but someone he loved deeply. He turned instinctively to the best places money could buy, hospitals in the United States. Cutting-edge technology, but rushed, transactional care. In Japan, precision was flawless, yet emotionally distant, silent, heavy. In Europe, advanced treatment, but compassion carefully regulated to avoid inefficiency. Everywhere he went, technology impressed him. But humanity felt absent. Doctors spoke perfectly. While avoiding eye contact, systems functioned flawlessly. While people inside them looked exhausted, it wasn't neglect, but it wasn't care in the way his heart needed. And slowly, a question haunted him. When everything is optimized, where does the soul go? At the same time, his faith in education and progress cracked. He had funded universities, sponsored research, advised governments. Yet he saw young people drowning in debt, professors burned out, institutions chasing rankings, not wisdom. The world he helped build was powerful and deeply tired. That's when the Philippines appeared on his calendar, almost accidentally. And he assumed it would confirm everything he already believed. He arrived expecting failure disguised as culture. In his mind, the Philippines represented everything he distrusted: developing, messy, emotional. He assumed Manila would confirm his assumptions. And at first, it did. The traffic was relentless. The noise unfiltered. Meetings started late. Schedules bent without apology. To a man who built his life on control, it felt like chaos. He retreated into hotels and private cars, telling himself this was temporary. But something kept interrupting his frustration. Small moments, a stranger offering help without being asked. A smile that expected nothing in return, a dignity untouched by wealth. Then came the hospital corridor, a Filipino doctor kneeling quietly before a long shift. Not praying for success, but strength. In a university classroom, a professor teaching with fire despite outdated equipment, not for prestige, but purpose. In a chapel, ordinary people offering gratitude. Even in uncertainty, these moments confused him. There was no incentive, no visible reward. And yet, the sincerity was undeniable. That was when the thought surfaced, uncomfortable and persistent. What if this place isn't behind the world? What if it's ahead in ways money can't measure? And then he traveled south, to Cebu. This is where everything softened. The moment he arrived in Cebu, the air felt different. Less hurried, less guarded, as if the city breathed at a human pace. His first visit was to a modest hospital. No glass towers, no dramatic entrances. He expected limitations. Instead, he saw nurses calling patients by name, touching shoulders gently, listening longer than schedules allowed. One nurse noticed his hesitation and smiled, not professionally, but personally. She explained procedures patiently, not because he was important, but because understanding mattered. He had seen world-class facilities before. He had never seen presence like this. Later, at a local university, he expected enthusiasm. What he found was depth. Students spoke not about escaping poverty, but about contribution. Success meant lifting others, not leaving them behind. That evening, he was invited into a family home. No agenda. Just food, stories, care. When illness came up, the room went quiet, not awkward, but respectful. Someone suggested prayer. He didn't stop them. And for the first time in years, something inside him broke open. In places where everything worked perfectly, he felt alone. In Cebu, he noticed things he never would have measured before. Drivers waving to each other through traffic. Strangers sharing umbrellas, laughter in difficult conversations. These weren't gestures for tourists. They were reflexes, habits shaped by shared hardship. One afternoon by the coast, watching the sun fall into the sea, he admitted it. He had been wrong, not about economics, but about what sustains a society. He believed wealth created stability. Here, he saw relationship create resilience. The Philippines didn't hide its scars. It revealed its heart, and maybe that was the point. Where other nations polished image, this one offered honesty. And slowly, the doubt that once protected him disappeared. There were no miracles, just ordinary days that changed everything. He began waking early, not from discipline, but anticipation. He spent mornings near small churches. People sitting together, equal in posture. In hospitals, nurses remembered things no chart could hold: a favorite hymn, a daughter abroad. An unspoken fear. They didn't rush pain away. They stayed with it. Outside the city, he joined a community gathering. When power went out, no one complained. Candles were lit, someone sang, laughter filled the dark. Joy appeared where it shouldn't exist. And that's when he understood. The Philippines doesn't deny suffering, it absorbs it, shares it, transforms it. And for the first time in decades, he felt held. This is the moment he stopped pretending. One evening, he finally spoke honestly. He admitted how tired he was. How success had left him empty. No one tried to fix him. They listened, and in that listening, he felt relief. He realized something terrifying and beautiful. Belonging doesn't depend on status. As days turned into weeks, a thought surfaced. What if leaving was no longer obvious? What if this imperfect place had given him something priceless, a reason to slow down, a reason to care? Standing by the sea one night, he whispered, "I have never seen this anywhere else, not praise, surrender, And then came the hardest realization of all. The Philippines didn't save him through spectacle. It saved him through values the modern world treats as outdated, faith that survives pressure, kindness without recognition, resilience without applause. He saw it mirrored in others, a professor who stayed, a patient who chose care over perfection, an investor who shifted from extraction to partnership, quiet decisions, life-altering ones. The Philippines doesn't just help people survive, it teaches them how to live again. To Filipinos watching this, your greatness has never depended on external validation. It lives in homes where faith is inherited, in families separated by oceans yet bound by prayer, in communities that rebuild, not because it's easy, but because giving up isn't an option. And to the world looking in, the Philippines is not defined by what it lacks. Don broke over familiar streets. He felt gratitude, not regret. The Philippines didn't ask him to change. It simply reminded him what it means to be human.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video.